Well, here it comes.
All right. So I got a new drill. I think I'm going to work into the rotation here.
All right, let's see it.
Got a video for you, so let me get it over. It's, you'll just have to see it. I can't even explain it.
Okay.
So it's working hips, right? Explosive hips, but I've never seen it done this way before, so.
Wait, what?
So apparently you blare Marvin Gaye, music in the stadium, and you just rep this.
I'm confused. All right, so the coach is pushing it back, right?
I think so. Yeah, I hope so.
Okay. All right, because I'm trying to figure out the physics here. But all right, I can see the coach is pushing the step over or the weeble wobble pad. I mean, that's one way to work hip action.
Yeah, it's definitely that. It's just weird. I don't know, man. Like the hands are down when the hips are. You see what I mean? Like his hips are coming through with the hands down.
Yeah, the wrist is making contact with the hip as it's coming forward, which is. It seems like when hips come out, your hands come out when you're playing football.
Right. So maybe he's just got the rhythm down wrong. I don't know. But
I mean, he's got some rhythm down. But yeah, I don't know about for football.
Yeah, that's something else. That's something else.
That's and that was the Vikings, wasn't it? That was pros doing that.
Wherever Amon G. Carter Stadium is.
Oh, that's TCU. Amon G. Carter. Yeah, that's TCU.
Okay, so TCU's repping that.
So yeah, the D-line hip work, or I guess anybody's hip work, whoever wants it, right?
Yeah, I'm about to say, I don't think that's D-line specific. I think that's, just mankind specific.
Yeah, they can get a piece of that. What do you think? All right, what do you think they're doing to get their minds right for a practice that involves that drill?
It sounds like they're blaring, Marvin Gaye music in the background. Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye's blaring, so maybe
no Gatorade, just Chardonnay.
Light a candle. Yeah, light a candle. I don't know.
Man, so the reason I asked is because I just started keeping notes of things that I hear throughout the week, and I had one player ask me if I thought sushi would be a good meal to eat for lunch on a Monday, Tuesday, a day that they had practice or whatever. At first, he asked if I like seafood. I was like, yeah, sure, if I'm close. All right. He's like, what about sushi? I'm like, yeah, if it's like a Saturday night and I know I don't need to do anything physically active or whatever, like, yeah, I'll eat some sushi. He's like, oh, I ate some before practice today. I'm just like, dude, like raw fish, like bold strategy.
That's a bold move, Cotton.
So here's the icing on the cake. Do you know where you got the you know where you from?
Where?
The grocery store.
Don't say the grocery store.
Yeah, grocery store sushi
for lunch.
For lunch on a random Monday or Tuesday.
I can't do that now. I gotta avoid Japanese for lunch. Any kind of hibachi, any of it.
11 a.m. eating a raw fish roll. About to go get it's still 90-something degrees here. It's supposed to be fall. Like, it don't feel like fall in Texas, dude. It's still 90 degrees. And he's about to get out in the sun.
He'll regret that quick. He's going to regret
that. Speaking of regrets, I had another player. He slept in, or he was, I don't know. Something we were having a conversation about being late or whatever. And I don't know if it was the class or if they had meetings that morning or something like that. But he said he was up too late watching TV, Netflix or something like that. I don't know. And I was like, well, dude, that's a pretty easy solution. Like, just turn it off and go to sleep. And he's like, these shows these days are really good. I'm like, first of all, these days, like, buddy, you've only lived in these days. Like, these kids are so young. But he said, yeah, they're an hour long a piece. I just keep watching them. I'm like, what is this show that you're staying up till 3, 4 in the morning, then trying to turn around and get up here for 6:30, 7 o'clock meetings or whatever? And what's up, bud? I like your pajamas, buddy.
Oh, we got a special guest.
Yeah, watch your step, bud. Oh, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Bennett?
Hey, Jack says, what's up?
What's up, man? How are you?
Do you like my pajamas?
Those are sweet, man. Are they pickles? What is that?
He asked if they're pickles. What's on your pajamas?
Pickles.
Yeah, that's nice, man.
Hey, you see? Can you read Jack's hat? He's got pickles on his hat.
Pickles.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's got pickles on his hat. One of our buddies told us he has a pickle company. So I'm gonna have lots of pickles.
That's why you get those pickle juice.
That's right. I'm gonna have a lot of pickle juice.
Well, my dad has a company about pickles, and he gets these like big containers of pickle juice.
That's not my company. That's the grocery store's company. All right, bud. I gotta turn you loose, okay? I'll be in there in a little bit. All right? All right, love you, bud. Close the door, please. Nice. That's right, and you'll be safe. Hey, I'll be in it.
Drop and roll.
That's smart. That's what you're supposed to do.
Without covering your eyes.
Smart. I love you, bud. I'll see you in a little bit, okay? Can you close the door for me? He said yes, but then didn't close the door. Wes, can you close the door for me, bud? Yes, we are. We are, bud. Yeah. Yeah, I'll see you in a little bit. Okay? Love you, bud. All the way, buddy. All right. All right, we can cut that part out. But all right, so I had this kid. My bad.
This is a random thought. Do you remember the Be Cool About Fire Safety videos?
Yeah.
That's what that made me think of, where it's like
Be cool
Stevie
about
Wonder.
fire
Yeah.
safety.
And then Stevie Wonder had one where it was just like, fall and crawl.
Yeah,
and that's all.
You remember in PE growing up where they would bring that trailer home out?
The
and,
little
like,
mini
wheel it into
house.
yeah, and they like, simulated a house fire or something like that. We had to crawl through it and like feel the doors for heat and stuff.
That was nuts.
Yeah. In hindsight, I'm surprised that wasn't more traumatizing or something. Like you're gonna put like 10 kids in there and then say, it's on fire, get out. And then you gotta just
Sorry, I found the video. I'm watching it right now. But I remember one girl that I was in school with had asthma or something. She started freaking out. And just like they had to take her out. They just took her out. We never saw her the rest of the day. So I don't know what they did with her, but like I think she failed that lesson.
tough. That's tough. That's like when y'all were doing the what do they call them? Alice drill. I didn't want to say, and the girl fell out the window and broke her leg.
I'll never forget that. I gotta tell that. That's just gold. All right.
Oh, we can keep it all in. Shoot, I'm sure the folks don't mind, but
we're doing. If you don't know what an Alice drill is an intruder readiness scenario that schools do, right? So this was, I guess, 11 years ago now, probably closer to 12. We were in math class is what it was. And they had told us beforehand, like, whatever you do, don't open the door for anybody. When this happens, you barricade or you get out, yada, yada, whatever, all the rules they gave us. So the intruder drill starts. Our classroom had windows on the backside that opened to a parking lot, to a field. So, like, we got to the point where we were safe to evacuate. And so we opened the window. And I was the dedicated person to be one of the last ones out, right? So I'm helping people get out. Me, and I think the teacher's like the absolute last one, but I was helping it before that. This girl. All right, so the window from the class side, like when you're leaving the classroom, is maybe, I don't know, 4 feet off the ground, 3.5 feet off the ground. So it's like doable, no problem. But on the flip side to the sidewalk outside, we're talking 5 feet drop, right? This girl,
it might be 6 foot, dude. I remember that.
It
might
there.
be 6 foot.
Oh, she climbs over. I'm there helping. Well, she gets one leg out. And that second leg goes, that toe catches the windowsill. And it's just forward face concrete, boom. And so I'm sitting here like, I'm in the mindset of, we're in intruder drill. I'm locked in. I'm ready to go. So I'm like, all right, next person up. She's like crying on the asphalt outside, and kids are trying to help her. Well, our teacher escorts the girl. It's like, oh, she's like bleeding. She's like busted her nose or face or something. She needs to go to the nurse. Intruder drill still going on. So the teacher walks her in the main doors to the nurse's office, and is like knocking on the nurse's door. And the fake intruder they had, the police department that were walking around, walks around the corner and is just like, gotcha, you're not supposed to be in the hall. You need to be out there. He just starts yelling at the girl, makes the teacher cry. And then the nurse opens the door like, what do y'all think y'all are doing? Like, and this girl's bleeding, crying, and it's a mess. Anyway, I don't know if the teacher got in trouble, but like, I don't know what I would do either if a kid started just bleeding in the middle of an intruder drill. You know, you understand the importance, but it's a drill. You're like, this girl's bleeding from the face. Like, she needs the nurse. But I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
That poor
Can we
girl,
just take a pause for a moment from the Alice drill? And
yeah, like, come on now. The
I don't
nurse was
even
locked
remember-
in too, I guess.
I don't even remember. All right, where was that in that story I was telling before the boys came in? Oh, okay. So kid's staying up till 3, 4 in the morning. He's trying to turn around, get to practice at like 6:30, 7 o'clock, whatever. And he's sleeping through like his first couple of class periods of the day is the problem. And I was like, what's this show that's so good that you are risking, you know, terrible sleep and, you know, getting in trouble in class and all this and that? How to Sell Drugs Online Fast.
That's a show?
Apparently that's a show, and apparently it's a good watch. It's worth staying up.
What's the title? How to Sell Drugs Online Fast?
How to Sell Drugs Online Fast. And this is a great kid that I don't think is involved in anything like that. But just to hear the randomness of the show, yeah, let's get some verification.
Yeah,
it's
that's
an
a
actual
legit show.
All right, well.
How to Sell Drugs Online Fast. Dude, what? It's got 4 seasons. How is there 4 seasons worth of content about that?
This definitely seems like it would have been a limited series, like 3 episodes.
Oh, it's a drama. Oh, I thought it was like an informative documentary kind of thing.
It's a show, like
it's a drama. Yeah.
Breaking Bad or something like that. Okay.
Nerdy teen Moritz Zimmerman buys drugs to impress his former girlfriend. However, he ends up selling them online out of his bedroom and soon becomes one of Europe's biggest dealers. This is an international show.
Well, it has found its way to my neck of the woods. So,
wow.
Man, wow. Learn something new every day. God dang.
Interesting.
You know, this is, it just reminds me, you know, you have those kids that remind you of other kids you've had in the past, right? You know, especially if you've been doing it for years at a time or whatever. And I'll never forget years and years ago, we had this kid that he was late to practice one afternoon. And then when he gets there, he says he can't practice. He's going straight to the trainer or whatever. We're like, what's up with you, dude? He's like, well, I got hit by a car earlier. And so we're just like blank stare, like, what did he just say? And so we're trying to get the whole story. And so as it turns out, on his way to school that morning, he was walking to school and he gets closer to campus and he's walking at the crosswalk where I guess the car lines let out. And he says he sees this SUV coming. And so he stops walking, right? Makes the smart decision. And then the SUV stops and the lady waves him across. Well, he starts walking and then the car accelerates and hits him.
Oh my God, that's like a crime.
And then just takes off. And so then the kid just goes to school, goes about his day, like goes through all of his classes. He said he did go to the nurse one time and he told the nurse what happened. Whatever. The nurse says, oh yeah, somebody already called up here and said they hit a kid in the car line this morning.
And we're just brushing that off?
And we're just brushing it off, man. Like it was a different time. It was a different time, but you can't make this stuff up. Like when you work in public schools and you're interacting with all kinds of people every day.
Yeah, no, the stories are endless, but like that is like, why'd you even call if you weren't going to stop?
The funniest part is I'm just picturing this, whoever's driving, I don't know, man, woman, whoever. And she just waves the kid over and then just boom, and takes him out.
So this past week we were on the way, we played Carolina High School this past week and we were on the way in the early truck, the equipment truck, right? And I'm driving. We pull up to a light and there's a cop in front of us and there's a guy in a chair, you know, with a sign trying to get some money at the corner. He has a dog and he's sitting there. He looks rough, man, which is, if he's living on the street, whatever, looks rough. And then out of nowhere, this dude takes a fall, and I mean just eats it. Like he's like slumped the whole time. The dog's sitting in his lap. And then out of nowhere, he just, and like falls out of, it's a wheelchair, falls out, smacks his face on the ground, and is just like not moving as the light turns green. And so we keep driving, and then he falls, and the guy in the passenger seat's like, is he okay? We're just like, as we just keep going. And then the more we went on, we're like, should we call somebody? What's the, like, is he just like acting? I hate to say that, but we ended up calling 911.
Yeah, well, that's
EMS.
good
And we're like,
Samaritan.
look, we don't know what's going on, but this dude just like fell out of his wheelchair and ate it. There's a dog. I don't know where the dog went. If he's acting, he's a great actor. And they were just like, hold on, what? What did you say? Like, where's your emergency? And we're like, on the corner of yada, 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 yada. And we're like, this guy in the grass was sitting in a wheelchair, getting his money, whatever, and just fell and stopped moving. And it wasn't that hot. Like, it was pretty comfortable, so it wasn't like a heat. I don't know what happened. And she's like, okay, we'll check that out. Anyway, our trainer is maybe 5 minutes behind us. We ask her when she gets to the field, like, hey, did you see, an ambulance or anything, guy on the corner? She goes, yeah, no, as soon as the ambulance pulled up, he just like got up, waved him off and said, and like gave him a thumbs up.
Not today, I'm good.
And she gave him $5. I'm like, come on now. She said it was for the dog, which, okay, but like.
Yeah, he ain't getting dog treats with that.
He got you. But
he's
I
getting
thought
the
he was
special
dead there.
he's getting the special from the gas station, man. That's
Yeah,
what
it
he's
was
getting with
nuts.
that.
It was, man.
Hey, speaking of nuts, man, we had a crazy game last week. So we had our homecoming game, which we talked about that last week's episode, right? Just all the things that come with homecoming week. And so we played the game Friday. We got the dub, but man, I think we were down 19. We were losing 19-6 or 19-3, maybe early. And it might have been, I think it was 19-6 because I think at the halftime it was 19-13, if I remember right. It's all a blur now. Then in the second half, we rally and end up with like 600 something yards offense and just go off and ended up winning like 40-26. But I mean, if we had just played all 4 quarters like the second half, it wouldn't have been that close. But it's hard to put 4 quarters together. It's hard for teenagers to just stay consistent, and just do their job and make. It's a lot easier when everybody does their job, but it's tough sometimes. But you guys got a big dub too, I saw.
We did. So like I said, we played at Carolina, got the win. We played first half, I'd say, out of character. Had some stupid penalties, gave them some things we shouldn't have. Got the shutout, though, for the night, so that's always good on defense. But, got the win. 28-0 was the final. And I think that'll kind of give us some momentum leading into this week. But, dude, let me tell you, the officials, not even just the officials, all right, I bash on them a lot. They had a chain crew, right? And the dude told me before the game, he's like, hey, coach, cut us some slack tonight. This is a brand new chain crew. And it looks like high school kids. Like, one dude still has his backpack on. It's like, all right, man, stay a while.
For a varsity game?
Yes. And
were y'all on the road?
Yeah, we were on the road. And so they threw a pass, or we threw a pass, one of the two, and incomplete pass. The ref's running down the field like he's supposed to, just to follow the play. The down marker guy runs after him, just follows him in the middle of the play. And we're like, what are you doing? And then the ref's like, no, you stay until I tell you. That happened 8 more times, whatever. At one point, they had the down marker. It was first down, 1st and 10. They had the down marker on first down where the ref is, ball spotted. Instead of going 10 yards forward for the first down, they had it going the opposite way. Like, we're driving this way, the chains were going this way. And they didn't notice it for a play. And then, we had to tell them. It was nuts, man. And the clock, they ran one drive, and it was a 6-minute drive. They didn't stop the clock at all. The refs didn't see it. We're, yelling at the ref, come on, man.
For a varsity game, that's bad. That's bad. That's some stuff that you would see on a sub-varsity night, right? You'd see that.
Yeah.
Freshman game, JV game, whatever. You kind of are expecting it to be a crap show, but man, we had some issues with some of the officials' calls in our game too. Like, I might have seen the longest forward progress whistle delay or whatever. Like, we got the guy stood up. Like, it's a big play and we're rallying the ball and it is just a wad of humanity. And the wad is not moving. But Jack, I promise you, it was like 10 Mississippi seconds. And then you finally just hear, and it's just like, what? Yeah, well, like some of our kids, I'll tell you what, it lasted so long that some wise guy in the bleachers set off an air horn. And so then at that point, the kids think the play's over with.
Yeah.
And then the referee blew his whistle. And it's just like this is a varsity game. Like this should not be
Yeah.
happening. Like take control of this. But it's just stupid
It's
sometimes.
nuts, man. Sometimes the things you see, and the delay of game. So like they didn't have play clocks at the stadium. They don't
Okay.
have them mounted yet, which not everybody here does. The ref keeps it on the field, right? I'm sitting here in the first quarter, like in my mind, I'm like, that has to have been 25 seconds. That has to have been 40, whatever. And it got to the point where we're like, delay? Like we're yelling a question at the ref, like, delay a game, man? Like, what are we doing? I timed it at one point, 1 minute and 15 seconds from when the ref blew it to start the play clock to when the play was ran. And it's like, dude.
And y'all were up big, right? Like y'all won pretty handedly.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we did. But still, this is like, if you're going 26 seconds, 27 seconds, okay.
I get it, yeah.
A minute, 15 seconds?
That's
like averaging 45 seconds? Come on, man.
At some point, well, you know what it probably is, right? The refs they're getting their check no matter what. They're getting the game, right?
Yeah.
So as long as that clock runs and that thing gets to, all zeros in the fourth quarter, they get that check and go. Like,
yeah,
they don't, which again, if there's no play clocks rigged up and stuff, I get that. Like you said, sometimes it'll slip between the cracks and stuff. But yeah, over a minute is ridiculous. I'll tell you what else is nuts. We, I don't know why when you were talking about this, we were talking about, that would be something you see on a Thursday night, right? I thought of this story the other day. I can't believe I haven't told it on here yet, but I'll never forget years ago, we had this JV kid, I think, and again, sweet kid, not the brightest bulb, right? But he couldn't get right. He's one of those, right? And I'll never forget, we were doing jersey handout, and how we did it, we check it out, right? If they come through the assembly line, they get the jersey. We ask what number they are wearing for the game. We check it off, give it to them, whatever. We ask him what number. Jack, he gives us his student ID number.
How many digits is that? Is it like
7? It's
or
like
8?
6 or 7. Yeah.
God.
6 or 7. Right. Yeah. So then the same kid, at some point down the line, we want him to be a captain or something like that. Yeah, he wanted to be a captain. And so, you have your talk with the captains about tails never fails or whatever, heads or tails. And you want to defer, give him all the options that we want and stuff. Jack, he turned to us and asked, how do you flip the coin? He's never done it before.
Refs got you, man. They have just tell him you've never done it before. He'll flip it for you. Just
unless they're the refs in y'all's game that y'all had, then they might actually hand them the quarter over or whatever.
It was,
yeah.
Flip a quarter. Have you never flipped a quarter in your life?
I just quit asking questions. Like over time, I get so numb to just the tomfoolery.
Yeah.
I just quit asking. But man, speaking of tomfoolery, it's about that time we started looking into college football Twitter from the weekend, and I started sending links early, but we went through, and obviously we're Clemson fans, so I'm sure we had eyes on that Clemson North Carolina game. Did you see the story about Ludacris and his concert at the Clemson North Carolina game? So preseason, right? A lot of people had Clemson high on the list. UNC's got Bill Belichick, so they're thinking by the time week, whatever we're in, 5 or 6, whatever, they're thinking this might be a bigger matchup, right? Just because of star power. And so North Carolina books Ludacris to do a show, it gets the people going, right? So they book him to do a show, assuming it's a night game, so that it's like a 5 o'clock concert, 7:30 kickoff. Everything's going to work out. Everybody's going to get juiced up. Then we're going to get after it. Obviously, we know that Clemson has kind of got off to a rough start. We definitely know North Carolina's off to a rough start. So they bumped the kickoff for that game to noon, which means Ludacris now has to do a concert in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Had to do it at like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, Jack. You want to talk about, I don't even know how many college kids were awake to go enjoy that concert. But I just sat there and I'm like, the vibes could not have been strong. And then, of course, Clemson gets after him. So,
I mean, look at Luda. Look at the bags under that man's eyes. He's tired, too. He don't want to be there at, however, God knows what time he had to get there, 8:30 maybe. Come
Yeah,
on,
if
man.
that, probably 7 o'clock. But you get everybody in there. I'm sure they got like campers and stuff that the artist sits in for a little bit.
Yeah,
And, I doubt he went to the game after.
not a
He probably
shot.
said, "I'm getting out of here, back to Atlanta or wherever he's from."
Yeah,
Right?
not a shot.
It
Loser.
was nice to see Clemson get a dub though. But
Finally.
what ludicrous song do you think college kids these days would even know?
Probably none.
That's what I'm thinking. Like,
I
they're
mean, he
definitely not
was
gonna.
kind of even not phasing out, but like on the back end of things
I
when
was
we were growing
thinking,
up.
yeah, I was thinking Baby, like where he was with Justin Bieber, right?
Yeah.
That probably came out in what, 2010, maybe 2011,
There's two.
which
I
is
mean, his
probably around the
latest
time that yeah,
album wasn't 2015 was his latest album.
they
So
probably know
like
him more from the TV shows and Fast and Furious or whatever.
that's probably exactly, yeah. But I mean, they probably know a couple. They probably know
They probably know the big ones, right?
Get Back,
Get Back is a classic.
Move.
Yeah,
Yeah, they probably know that one. The rest of them, there's some I don't even know. So there's no way they do. He must be like somehow connected to UNC or something, but
Or it was an affordable concert for somebody that
he
enough
was on
people
sale.
might know. Yeah, he was on sale a
Clearance.
little bit. Man, I'll never forget when we were in college, like we looked at getting DMX to come do a
Man,
show at our fraternity house, and I think it was only like $1,200 to get
that's
DMX.
insane. I remember when I was in college, there was a fraternity that got Afro Man.
Dude,
And it was $1,000, $1,200. It wasn't much. But
right.
the dude came, I think I went, and one of my buddies was in that fraternity. I went, and the dude sang maybe 10 minutes, his top 2 hits, and then
You're
like
right.
was too messed up to even continue and just like stopped and left.
Easy
Like
money.
couldn't even function up on the stage. Like was just
In his defense, people are probably only there for 2 songs anyway, right?
yeah. Nobody
Because I
even
got
wants the others.
high.
Colt 45.
Man. Hey, speaking of the zigzags, all right, we got Guy Fieri. Did I send you this link?
Yes.
He ain't got the 2 zigzags, but he's got him a nice
Stogie.
stogie right there. I guess he's cheering for San Diego State, trying to.
Yeah, he must be. This is me when the over on my parlay hits in like the first half. This is my vibe. Just like, yep, we good. We cashing this in. We cashing this.
That's right. That's green, baby. And then
Look
I
at him.
roll it all into my next bet, and it's
Yeah, and then lose everything.
I lose everything.
Look at that chain though. Guy Fieri's rolling thick. Look at that.
He's tripped out, dude. I'll never forget. I went to Cancun. Last summer, I guess, and Guy Fieri had some kind of restaurant in the airport in Cancun. Yeah, it's all right. I'll kick the other one out.
That same thing last week.
Yeah, I was about to say it cleaned it up pretty good last week though. All right, we back.
Yeah, we good.
Man. Yeah, Guy Fieri got it rolling, man. You can't hide money.
In Flavortown.
Gosh, there's a couple more I sent you. Pull up the one from the Baylor game. Yeah, we always like to see costumes and wardrobes, and usually from the fans, right, at college games. I don't know. Is this
Yeah.
the turnover bear
Pelt?
headdress? Yeah, pelt,
Yeah.
turnover pelts. I don't know, man. Baylor.
I don't know what's going on here. Maybe Build-A-Bear's an NIL sponsor. I don't know what we got going on.
Yeah, some kind of taxidermist down there in Waco area, maybe. I don't know. That's got to be hot though. Like I said, it's still 90-something degrees out here in Texas.
Where do you even get that? Like that, it's got like a zipper on it. What's up front?
That's custom, I think. I
Yeah,
think
that's
definitely
legit.
gonna be
That's
custom.
legit.
Man,
Pretty good
and
game though. They end up winning that game.
I got no clue, man. I honestly, Big 12 football, I think it's Texas Tech's to lose, right? They're just spending all that money,
Yeah.
and they got through Utah, and now they're about to just run the table on everybody, unless they just have a meltdown here. But I would guess they won. I think Baylor beat SMU, so I think they're kind of pretty solid this
true.
year. I know SMU's kind of faltering a little bit, but speaking of big wins,
Yeah.
UCLA, the last picture I sent you, I believe. All right.
There he is.
The dude looks like a mad scientist. Neuheisel. All right. So
Yeah.
they get the big dub over Penn State, right? Penn State recovering from the Oregon loss at home. Now they got to fly across the country to Los Angeles, play UCLA. And they got former quarterback here just calling plays up. Did you see where he didn't even know how to work the coach to player?
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, nuts, right? This was an early game too, or I can't remember. I was watching another.
That's all right.
I'll try it this way on the internet instead of the app. All right. But anyway.
So yeah, they scored what 42 points in that game, and then like half the time he's botching when the plays in or calling the plays in on the coach comms or whatever. I just thought that was a good feel good story because UCLA was bad up until that game. Like I don't know what's going on in Penn State.
Yeah. And what's nuts is that, this is UCLA, right? But the man is the epitome of a college football coach in California, right? I mean, look at the dude. He looks like he just got done lifeguarding at like Santa Monica Beach and then came over here to coach a little football in the evening.
That's right. Yeah, just a little side gig,
Yeah.
He just got off the surfboard and now he's dialing up. Now he's dialing up plays against the number 8 or 9 Penn State was ranked. I think.
Yeah. No, dude, insane. Great win for UCLA. Great win. I don't know why, but I kind of always not hated, but I don't really care for Penn State that much. So
I used to not care that much. I kind of like Joe Pa. And then obviously when all the stuff came out, it kind of just taints the whole, I don't know, your opinions on certain things. And I don't know, I'm kind of indifferent towards them now, but I actually kind of like UCLA's color schemes. Like I think their jerseys and stuff look pretty clean. The gold helmet, baby blue top. It's just people in California don't care about football, or at least college football, it seems, unless it's Southern Cal.
No, yeah, the uniforms are definitely pretty solid.
Well, speaking of insanity, man, I was trying to get some listener questions to talk about a little bit while we had the time, but there's always that one troll in everybody's comments. And again, like I normally don't give them the time of day or whatever, but this one caught my eye. So I did do a little vlog or whatever for Sunday, our Sunday game plannings, which a ton of high schools in America do Sunday game planning meetings in the afternoon or evenings. Sometimes they do it Saturdays, right? And then maybe they don't do stuff on Sundays, but there is at some point, for the most part, game planning meetings that go on the weekends. But I got this one comment that says, it's obscene how many hours of your life are devoted to high school football. Weekends and you're routinely working 16-hour days.
It's freaking
Trying to work my new soundboard right here.
There it is.
So then we had another guy chime in, right? I coach in Vermont and we get Sundays completely off.
Yep.
Well, buddy, like everywhere does it different, and I would love to see the huddle highlights for the Vermont team. And
yep. Tell them to calm down over there in Vermont, all right?
I mean, it's all good. I doubt anybody's listening. Or was it South Dakota or Vermont? We still can't get listeners from.
I think it's definitely South Dakota, but maybe Vermont too. We might have gotten Vermont in one of the more recent episodes.
I think you are right. Well, I guess it is what it is on that. But yeah, so they're trying to just get some questions here, and I had one saved. All right, got a question here from the Don on TikTok.
The
Don, solid name. That nobody else picked that up is awesome. He said, "What's going on, my man? Hope all is well. He's been a fan of mine for a while, watching on TikTok. Loves him. Keep up the good work. He's also a high school football coach at his former high school in Maryland. We had a coach, but that was in Missouri, right? A few episodes ago.
Missouri, yeah.
D-line coach. Anyway, he was wondering if for any advice for a young coach like himself. So he's up there in Maryland. He's doing his thing. He's in year 2 of coaching. Just wants to know if you have any advice. Jack, you got any thoughts for him?
I think I've said it before. Do the little things. Be a student of the game. You're never going to just be a lifelong learner. I mean, you preach that to these kids all the time and really take your own advice. I mean, Never stop studying, never look at different wrinkles, look at different offenses, look at different defenses. Bring something to the table and work well with the kids that you got, and the rest will take care of itself, man. I mean,
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something that I haven't suggested before, and I think you hit the nail on the head is like, don't get stagnant, right? Just because you get comfortable, maybe like you said, running a certain system, like don't feel like you're now a this kind of system guy,
yeah,
right? You might go somewhere where running an even front ain't gonna work. You ain't got the horses up front. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, lifelong learner. I don't know. That would be my best advice, other than some of the things we've already talked about before on here. Ty Perez. All right. Ty Perez. Shout out on TikTok here. He says, "Hey, coach. Know this is probably a long shot, but he is currently serving in the U.S. military. Thank you for serving, Ty, by the
wow,
way.
yeah,
But he has dreams and aspirations of being a coach for the sport he loves, which is football. And he just wanted to see if we had any advice or tips on how to get into coaching. And this is a similar question to some of the ones we've had before, but being from a military background, I can't speak to that, right? I can't speak on what that process might look like, but I would think, you tell me if I'm wrong, Jack, probably the first thing is to see what's required in the area you want to coach in, whether you got to teach or
yeah,
not, things like that.
yeah. And I mean, if he's still in the military, I mean, I know they do some where your college education is free. If you are wanting to get into teaching, or you have to be a teacher to coach, then you're kind of set up for that route if you jump on that. I know Uncle Sam pays that,
Yeah.
rightfully so. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
but that would be your first step, I think, is to figure out what your requirements are for your area or where you want to do it. But other than that, I mean, that's step number one before you can do any of the other stuff.
Yeah, I would say after you kind of figure out what whether you got to teach or not, if you're not going to teach, you got to figure out what the day job's going to be that's also flexible enough to make the coaching responsibilities a possibility. And I don't know, you just kind of have to map that part out. In terms of getting on a coaching staff, I mean, it's like we talked about before. You just got to put yourself out there and network and
Yeah.
um, build
And
those connections.
you got a leg up because in most, professional environments I've been in, people who have that type of service in their background or military service, whatever it may be, usually stand out to people who are hiring or looking or whatever, just because they know type of discipline, commitment,
Mhm.
preparation that goes into that. And so, that may give you a leg up when you're looking, or at least make you look more favorable compared to other people, just because I know some people do look at that and kind of rank you up higher as a candidate just because of that prior service.
Yeah, I think when they see military service on your record, I think, like you said, they know that you're used to being on a regimented schedule and that
Yeah.
they're probably not got to worry about you not showing up for work one day, or at least not following proper protocol for if you are going to be out, right?
Yeah.
And if they've got certain ways they want their teachers to turn in lesson plan or whatever the situation is, they know
Yeah.
that somebody that's been in the service is probably going to follow the checklist, right? Of however they want things done. So, yeah, I would agree. That's a good notch to have in your belt.
Absolutely. Back to the first question, I actually have something new I think I can add instead of just saying do the small things and that kind of thing. I was just kind of thinking about it in my head about when I first started, and I think it is crucial, at least in teaching, if you're teaching and coaching, the relationships matter, right? The relationships with your kids matter. What's the saying I always hear? They don't care what you know until they know that you care, right?
Yep.
And that's kind of something you'll hear if you go into teaching or if you're in teaching. But for me, the way I approached it was I wanted to learn the kids' names fast, right? I wanted to learn who they are, what they are, like what are they interested in, something outside of football that I can kind of relate to. Because a kid that you show up day one, if you're just yelling, being hard, coaching them hard, if they don't know you, they don't respect you, they don't, they have no idea who this guy is barking at me, it's probably not going to work out great. So you
Yep.
kind of have to start off on the right foot and earn respect before you demand it, right? Because the kid's going to work a lot harder for you if they know you, if you relate to them, if they know that you're there for them, that kind of thing. So that's probably my one tip if you're just starting. But
Yeah, I remember I used to want to be the attendance guy, right? That's in the locker room marking names as they
best
come
way to
in.
learn them.
Because yeah, like you said, that's the best way to learn names right there is
Mm-hmm.
sitting there marking off the attendance. And like you said, just trying to find something about them that like you can always recall that and build a connection, right? If I find out that this kid works at the sub shop in town, right? Every so often, how's business at you staying busy at work, right? How's Jersey Mike's treating you or wherever the kid's
Yeah,
working, and you're just trying to drum up things maybe that are not football related, right? We're just trying to connect to the person at this point.
yeah. And
And
shout out Coach Norton, because my first year I came in kind of late and I didn't know any of the kids. They've been working the whole summer with them, and I'll never forget. He put me on attendance duty, and he said it because that's the easiest way, the fastest way for you to learn names, get to know people, and really that's a good rule of thumb. Adults, kids, whoever, finding something to relate to them about, learning something else about them outside of how you know them. That's just good advice all around.
yeah, we're all people, right? We all appreciate when somebody knows a little bit more about us than just the surface level stuff that in this setting I'm the teacher, in this setting I'm the coach, in this setting I'm the dad, and all this and that. So yeah, just finding different ways to kind of bridge it all together. Last question right here. All right, this is from Dylan the Villain on TikTok. We've got some good usernames. He says he is in 10th grade. He's never played football, but he's obsessed with it. He watches it all the time and he's wondering what are some things that he can do to start learning the basics about football. He mainly wants to rush the quarterback, but he doesn't want to be a big fat guy. He wants to use speed more than strength. I'm just looking for footwork things I can do, defenses I can learn, or anything else that you think may help. And then he said he loves our videos. So appreciate
Wow.
that, Dylan.
So
So
you want to hit
I'm
that first?
well, so when I read it, it's tough not like we said, not knowing the kid, right? But I think you're in 10th grade and you love football and you want to play it. I think you need to get started in football ASAP as possible. By this point,
Yeah,
I'm sure the team at his school is already going. If he's not on the team now, probably gonna have to wait till January for off-season training to maybe join. And that doesn't mean you don't sit around and eat potato chips until January. Like you probably need to
exactly.
start getting some work in. And YouTube is insane now. Like with just
Yeah,
the amount of content that's out there. I know that this week we're playing a power high school, right? We got to go out to East Texas and play a power high school. So I know my backers a lot of the time are going to be getting down and dirty, reading in man on the line of scrimmage, spilling, shock and shed, all the things, right? And, I might want to try to give them an advantage in some of the indie work we're doing this week. So I'm looking up drills that might simulate that better than maybe what I already have in my own drill bank that I might pull from. And you can get most of that off YouTube. And if you do want to spend a little money, we have the Glacier Vault, Jack. Have you ever checked that thing out before?
yeah. I have. It's a great source.
Yeah. And so I'm deep diving in that and I'm keeping track of notes. I'm saving links and, just trying to build up this database, right? Of if I need to pull a drill to work something, I can do that quickly. And so as a player, I would be doing the same thing. I'd be looking up footwork drills. I'd be looking up, if you've never played football before, you probably need to look up stance and start and basic cable stuff so that when day one comes around, whenever that might be, you are not looking like a fish out of water.
Yeah, exactly. Like you gotta build the foundation, because as a 10th grader, and this is not a slight on you or anything, but you're probably going to be behind some of the other 10th graders that have been playing, and that's not to get nothing against you. That's where we're at, right? So building that foundation of technique and just basic conditioning, I think, is where you start. And like you said, YouTube has great drills. I would start learning terminology, study it like a class, man, because you're kind of behind the eight ball, and that's
Mm-hmm.
okay. You just got to get caught up and get to where you can do some more of the advanced stuff, and really get comfortable with it. But the biggest thing I'm gonna tell you is you don't have to be the biggest one, the fastest one, the strongest one right away, but your effort needs to be unmatched when you get out there, right? And if you condition, you do some workouts, however you go about that, your body's going to be in a better shape to give that max effort all the time. right? Because a lot of that is mental. But if you're not in shape, not used to it, and you try going out there off the rip, dang it, you can give all the effort you want, you're gonna be dead after like 4 plays, right? But yeah, that's it. I mean, study it, man. You gotta learn it.
Yeah, I would start lifting now. I'd go find the local gym. I'd be getting some squats in. I'd be
Yep.
learning how to power clean. So I'd be watching YouTubes and stuff on that. It's totally fine if you take a break from Coach Wardlaw TikToks and you go watch lifting videos and football
Yeah.
drill videos. You know, I promise my stuff will still be there. Fourth and Ward clips will still be there whenever you get a little more down pat. But yeah, just dive deep and go get to work, man. Because
And
better
yeah.
late than never, but it is a little late and we got to get after.
And look, if you're in school and your school has a weightlifting class, I think we're ending Q1 in South Carolina, so you got plenty of time to maybe add that to the schedule semester 2 to try to get, some of that those fundamentals built in school. But otherwise, yeah, you just got to study it, man. I had a kid, he came in late, transferred in, whatever, wants to play. That's great. New to our school, will get you right. I think he has to wait a certain amount of days. Younger kid, I was trying to get him, I printed him a playbook off Huddle to get some of the defense calls down. He actually made a booket out of it. And he's been playing the crap out of that booket. And let me tell you, every time I see him, I ask him, all right, and whatever strong right, where you lined up, what's your alignment assignment? And he can get it off the rip. He doesn't say right or left. He tells me what gap and the direction, right? He goes, I'm going right A or wherever. But I mean, just study it, man. Study it like a fiend. If you really want to be out there, you kind of have to know it. So get ahead of the curve.
I've never heard about making a Blue Kit or a Gim Kit or a
Right.
Kahoot or what's some of the quizzes, right? Quizlet. That's pretty interesting. That's a go getter you got there.
Yeah. I might
Might be a
have to
solid
make
find.
some and send it out to all my kids now, just to say, all right, go get on the Blooket. If you need something to do during
Absolutely.
our strive time, get on Blooket.
You don't book it,
Yeah.
study game.
Yeah.
We're hitting that point, Jack. It's about time for our team of the week. We got our new teams added from the comments you guys leave. It makes it easier for us to see if you drop those comments on YouTube or Spotify. It does make them easier to see. So they might slip through the cracks if they're on, maybe some of my TikToks or things like that. I do go back through and try to get those added as I can. But yeah, drop those comments if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Spotify. We've got them added to the board here. It is always brought to you by the Gridiron Spice Company. Use the code 4th and Ward. That's the number 4, THANDWARD at gridironspiceco.com. We got the link in the show notes, and you can get 10% off your order when you want to tackle your taste buds. So we've got the wheel here.
Yeah.
Adding our newest team to the mix.
Who did we add
Great
this
job.
week?
We added a school out of the Houston area. We added a school out of Missouri. Gosh, I can't remember now.
I know we got MacArthur. They were
MacArthur
new.
was a new addition
Carthage.
here. Carthage was a new addition. Carthage got some dogs, Jack.
Let's see. Who else did we add this week? Waiting for him to come around, but I can't read upside down.
Yeah, it's hard to read upside down. Kirkwood, that was the school out in Missouri. Love it. Smash the spin. Let's see what we're working with here.
Here we go. Shout out to wheelofnames.com, by the way. If you're a teacher, it's great for picking a random kid. Let's see what we got.
Ooh, Georgia. That's a ludicrous song.
Ooh, that's a good one, too. Harlem High School in Georgia.
Harlem High School, Georgia.
There we go.
I got to say, I'm very unfamiliar. So we're going to have to check this one out here.
Yeah, so
Harlem High School in Georgia. I've got no context on this. It is fitting that we talk about ludicrous and then we get a Georgia school on here.
Yep. All right, so let me share this over. Getting all max preps here. All right, so they got it looks like a Furman Paladin logo, but with the H.
Harlem Bulldogs 5-1.
Is that St. Thomas Aquinas?
No, there's an Aquinas High School in Georgia. I actually think maybe I saw them on Instagram or something. Let's see if I recognize any of these other names. We got West Lawrence, Greenbrier, Washington Wilkes. Hey, I've heard of Washington Wilkes.
I know I don't recognize this one. Hefzibah.
Aquinas High School, Cross Creek. Hold up now. Cross Creek. That name sounds familiar. I think they might have played a Texas school out here last year, maybe. Hey, my intrusive thoughts are winning. Go to Cross Creek real quick.
Cross Creek.
Go to their schedule for last year, unless I'm thinking of somewhere else.
Oof. I hope they didn't go all the way to Texas.
No, they didn't. I'm thinking of somebody else. All right, never mind. Let's get back to Harlem. That's our team of the week here. I was thinking there was a school we played last year that some of the scouting tape we had, they had played some school out of Georgia. So anyway, but Washington Wilkes now I've heard of. Okay, I think we're looking. This is in Augusta, so this is close to the state line with South Carolina. So there's probably some familiar territory here. They're off to a great start, 5-1. They had the one loss to West Lawrence. They had a
Pretty
big
close game,
overtime
too.
win over ARC.
What is that? Academy of Richmond County. Interesting.
So a lot of Augusta.
But
Fantastic.
I'm seeing
Let's
a
see
lot
what
of
we're working-
NFL dupes here. We got the Patriots, Notre Dame. That's college, but still in Green Bay. Come on,
Green
man.
Bay.
All right, whatever. All right,
Even
so let's
that
check
ARC
out.
one, is that an East Carolina knockoff?
Yeah,
Anyway,
looks like it.
let's check out Harlem here.
All
See
right.
what we're working with.
God, I can't type. All right, looking pretty solid.
Hey, that's
We
a
got some
nice little
turf.
setup, man. Now, what classification is this? Does it say on Max Preps?
Let's see.
I'd hate for you to have to go back into the tab, but
No, that's easy. Okay, Georgia.
Georgia 3A. Okay, they go up to 7A, I believe. We learned from Tremaine Ankrum when we had him on last week. I like the stadium setup.
Look at that.
I like the scoreboard. That's a good setup. Turf field. Okay. Got the big run through flags. I like the stadium. Yeah, it looks like it sits in a little bit of a hole. I like stadiums that kind of have the hillsides and stuff like that. That's a good look.
Pretty
We
solid.
got the trees all around. Nice little venue.
Ain't bad at all, man.
And they're off to a great start, 5-1, getting rolling in, getting deeper in district play. You know, game 7 coming up. Yeah, let's see some of these uniforms.
I think I might have to add Georgia in here.
Okay, I was about to say that might not be them right there.
Here we go. Looks like Adidas.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely them.
They keep it classic though. You know, they just got the I can't think of what that design is. You're right. It's like Furman University's kind of logo with the lettering in it. The diamond H. Yeah. So we got a helmet run through. Solid. We got alternates. Got the red, black, and white.
Pretty solid. Oh, that's a hard combo to beat, man. Red and black. White.
Yeah.
That's hard to beat, man.
Especially in the state of Georgia, I feel like those colors run deep, man.
Hold on.
Well, shout out to the Harlem Bulldogs, our newest team of the week, 5-1. They are killing it. We'll have to do another update in a future episode, Jack, and see how all of our previous teams of the week are doing. We might have to start making these recordings go a little longer than an hour.
Right.
We're starting to get
so they play Aquinas or whoever in a region matchup this week. So good luck to y'all, Harlem.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that because I've heard of that Aquinas school before. I have to go on and check out Instagram or something whenever we get off of here because I know I've seen that before. But anyway, shout out to Harlem High School out there in Georgia. Shout out to you guys for listening to another episode of 4th and Ward, even when my kids want to come bust in because they're nosy. But we got everybody trying to listen, Jack, and we just appreciate it. I think other than Vermont and South Dakota, we got Vermont. So other than South Dakota, we're covering our bases, and it's pretty baffling. We're humbled as a couple guys from small town America that you guys like to just listen to us chat it up a little bit. We always appreciate your feedback. Be sure to drop those comments, your nominees for Team of the Week, your questions that you might have that we can answer in the show. We'll make sure we cover it next time, guys. We appreciate it. Jack, you want to sign us off?
Stay golden.